Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Insatiable, Season 1, Episode 1.
How did we get here?
We were looking for things on Netflix, and bam, we saw this show and it started playing, as they do, which we thought was the trailer, but really, it was the first episode, and we were engrossed in this thing.
Said,
we said, you know what, let's watch this show.
We got this dueling narrator thing going on.
I had heard a couple things. There was some backlash and controversy over, oh God, how can you have a show about someone who used to be fat? Like, I'm like, what? Why is that a controversy?
Yeah, so I vaguely recall some rumblings of controversy, but I couldn't remember what the controversy was.
I think the issue is that this woman's life is better when she lost weight, and I'm like, isn't that not just being healthy? Like,
no, but they're already portraying it in a certain way in this episode. It's already not just like everything's perfect. It's this weird, because they're even using the beauty pageant angle to like make it into its most like grotesque version of that, right? Him like, pretty girls don't do plea bargains or whatever. His whole like thing, his like mentality or whatever. That's not portraying.
I thought that was more of a commentary on society than it was anything about.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not really endorsing it. It's like portraying it in this gross light. So like, you should not be like, oh, you're like glorifying losing weight or something like that. Like, that's ridiculous.
I don't think there's any problem with glorifying losing weight
to begin with. I know, yeah.
I love, like, you know, the whole you're perfect the way you are mentality about things, and I'm like, yes, to a point. For things you cannot change, you are perfect the way you are. Like, oh, you want blonde hair, you're black hair, oh, you're perfect, or you could dye it. Like, but people that are like, oh, this thing that is arguably bad for you, no, it's fine. You're fine.
No, I do the same thing with like, because I'll pick an example that has nothing loaded about it, or whatsoever, which is like the workaholic thing.
Okay.
Everyone lives in like fear of being a workaholic, and everyone constantly tries to avoid being a workaholic. Guess what? Everyone could work harder. You all suck.
All the time.
Fucking work and like do things, get things done, stop complaining, stop making excuses.
People make excuses about things that they want to do, let alone things they should do.
No one's like allowed to say that, but if you walk around, everyone's like, oh, it's ridiculous, I can't, that's not my job description. Everyone's always crazy, pushing so hard the pendulum in like the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'll work harder when I'm paid more.
Yeah,
what?
Exactly. They're like deathly afraid of like putting themselves out there, excelling, pushing themselves. Anything. No, can't possibly. Same thing with like weight loss or like whatever. Yeah, you don't want fat people to like kill themselves, so you have to pepper in something of like, hey, like you're still like a valuable, human who deserves love or something like that. But yeah, you should lose weight. Obviously, you should lose like it's this weird thing where like people are pushing too hard in the opposite direction to make people feel better about themselves, because some people feel so bad about themselves, whatever, right? And I don't know what the right answer is, but it's not to just blanketly say everyone's perfect. I haven't even seen you yet, but you're perfect the way you are. You might not be. You might have an actual medical problem. Yeah. Right? Come on.
You have naturally thin veins that will get really pushed on if you keep getting. No, you're fine the way you are.
There's like, because like the workaholic thing is like murkier or something like that, but with being super overweight, it's like literally tied to all these health problems. Like you literally should not be that fat or whatever.
No, but even to tie it to things that are normal, like oh, you played video games all day. How the hell could you do that? But people watch TV all day, and there's no stigma there.
Yeah, people are horrible.
No, in general, people suck, and yes, do whatever the fuck you want, because I don't care. But don't begin to think that like people shouldn't do things because they don't need to.
And so far, this show is not glorifying anything.
I have gotten no inkling of anything like that. I thought this was just a well-made show.
I think people see somebody in a fat suit and they immediately do the shallow how, where they're like, this is bad or whatever. And I think you like, I don't know. Because like this is almost like an It's Always Sunny type show where like a lot of these characters, they're not pure monsters like on It's Always Sunny, but they're bad people. They have monstrous qualities. So they're normal, selfish people. Yeah, and when you see them interacting and like navigating this this landscape here, right? That's the point. The point is that now that she's thin, this is happening. Not hey hey everybody get thin so you can get off of like assault charges or whatever, right?
No.
Yeah.
But no, this show.
So we've handled the controversy.
This show it was surprisingly done like really well. I thought this was like up my alley in a lot of ways.
Oh.
I liked the juxtaposition between our main characters and how it just keeps picking up and dropping off into the next person's thing, and like their lives have a lot of similarities. Even though one's like a middle-aged, like losing his life kind of man, and one is a girl who just kind of finding herself now with her newfound weight loss. But they have a lot of similarities and plot points that just cross paths, and they go nicely together. I thought it's interesting that she has a crush on him. I thought that was funny.
I did not see that coming.
I did not see that coming at all. Also, since he is the dad of the one she originally had a crush on, I thought more of things were going to come back into that play where she'd be in the house now more.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's taking her case, and now she's her pageant coach, and she gets to see this guy firsthand. Oh, he's looking at me now, like something like that.
Well, and that son's, on again, off again, dating the daughter of the guy that guy hates.
Yes.
The perfect Timothy Oliphant guy. Or whatever. Yeah,
that guy has been in a couple of shows. He was on Harper's Island, that miniseries. But he's been in a lot of things. What was he in? Not one of the ones where they were like a spy or something.
Who's the main guy? The main pageant coach dude?
I don't know him.
He looks really familiar to me.
He looks like somebody else, I think.
He's not John Ritter. But
no.
But he's obviously. But he kind of reminded me of John Ritter.
Yeah,
but,
they have similar.
I think I've seen
the world
him
is shitting on them in a similar way, kind of things.
Some with his eyes, some with his face. I don't know.
But I liked him. I like the two main characters.
The whole
the girl started to like weigh on me a little bit. Where I was like, oh, I think you were better when you were like first starting out, and now that you're in this passionate revenge thing, you might get a little worse. But it's early days. This is episode 1. People change a lot from episode 1 to 10 or whatever.
And this is a setup. This is the pilot, right? Or like whatever you want to call it. This is the exposition. At the end of this, she's like, let's do that pageant thing, right? So now we're gonna get into that.
She wants to get revenge on a series of people.
Yes.
And we see that she's not going to be turning the murder route, at least yet.
I kind of wanted her to.
Thought that she was going to do.
Yeah.
I thought for something about like what I heard about it. I thought that she was like, oh, it was a heavy girl who got skinny, and now she murders everyone that was in her path. And I'm like, I love that idea.
That's great. Yeah.
But I don't think that's what's going to be this.
I really wanted her to light that dude on fire, and I was disappointed by that. So these are my disappointments that she didn't light him on fire. I also I think that we're like it is well done, and it's on to something, but it's spelling it out a little too much for me. I really like to be teased. I like some ambiguity. I like to have some time to like see things take shape and then have someone explain the shape to me. Whereas this, it seemed like they were front-loading it, but it's the first episode, so I don't know. Here are my examples. He said like out loud or like in his narration or something like that her testimony was going to be like her first pageant or whatever.
Sure.
Right? But then they proceeded to do like 40 things that like explained like all the parallels between how he's prepping her and grooming her and how it's exactly like a pageant. And I thought like that I would have liked for that sentence to be halfway through or near the end even, so that as an audience member you could feel like, oh, he's falling back into his old patterns that he hasn't been able to do for a while, and he's applying it to this other situation. How interesting. But he just says it up front, which kind of ruined it for me a little bit.
Okay.
And likewise with her like revenge thing. She she says something like, "Oh no, it's not going to stop here. I have to keep going," or like whatever. But that can't just happen. She has to literally say, I've gotten a taste of victory. Now I need revenge on everyone, all the people.
No, I did think that was a little much.
And like her friend, who's obviously in love with her, which is amazing.
Yes.
There's so many little tiny angles.
The dynamic between the friend and the mother I thought was hilarious. Where like the friend's pretty much going to be like, look, well, you're turned into a fat bitch. She's like, well, you're gay for my daughter, so shut up.
It's
jealous.
It's really good.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, because like that's the kind of thing that a show from a long time ago would have as like a super subtext thing that wouldn't get explored or whatever. But here they're going to explore.
Yeah.
She was like going to go
power of internet.
She was going to go in for a kiss at one point, or maybe someone else who's been there the whole time who loves you. And then and she's just like, nah, I'm gonna fuck that homeless guy, and it's like it's right where it goes, like stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is super. It's like modern. It's like interesting. It's doing something, whatever. But I like there to be a little more subtlety, believe it or not, with like the themes of it. With like, hey, we're making this look like that, and later we can tell you. Later we can call it out. But give me like a 1/2 to 2/3 of it, where as an audience member I get to try to put it together, right, myself first, before you just say it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
It's fine. It's like a minor thing.
Something I like about this show too. So like we had wonderful success and enjoyment watching the Santa Clarita Diet, and you had Drew Barrymore, like, you know, making her like a little screen, like a tack into that show. And then here you got Alyssa Milano.
I was gonna say,
you know, and she's been on TV shows in the past, but I feel like she is another one of those like, you're the big fish right here, like type of deal.
Yes.
And I think that might be Netflix's like thing now. And I thought that was funny too. They make the nod to Drew Barrymore in this, a person who's in a show that they also control, as like, you know, all her little things, and show her off as like, you know, this person's idol.
I forgot about the Drew Barrymore thing. That's really good.
I thought that was good.
I also forgot Alyssa Milano's name, so I was like, "Who's this? Is that the girl?"
It took me a while to get Alyssa. I was like, Milano.
I was like, "Is that Lois from Lois and Clark? Is that Terry Hatchett or whatever?"
No,
no. Who's this?
And she looks good. She
looks great.
50s, I'd imagine.
Yeah. And the whole you know, we're just saying things that are
or late 40s
that happened in the episode, but the whole dynamic with the husbands and the goofiness and the situation and the stuff,
all the nicknames for that douchebag DA guy, when he called them, like, what did he say, like
bag of boners or whatever,
he said like Backstreet Boy something or other, or Baywatch something or other, like all those little things, they were funny, and some of them felt like a stretch, but they all made me chuckle a little.
No, but like the dueling narration really helps that a lot.
Yes,
I was really into that. That's what we saw in that little taste of like the first 5 minutes, that I was like, this could be a good show, I don't know, or whatever. And like, again, like, it's basic stuff, but like the repetition where it shows him walking up in the beginning, and then after the accusations of molestation, he walks up again, but everyone on the street is like, don't look at him, oh no.
And like, that's only, I do feel bad, because it's only going to get worse for this man. I do hate, and I wonder if that was any cause of controversy, like, you know, a fake rape accusation. You know, in general, is not a thing that people enjoy. But he gets one, and then, like, I don't know if, like, he has another young girl, the main character, who was into him, and then maybe his enemy's daughter is also into him.
That's so great. I'm sorry.
And there's photos of him and her in the bra,
touching her face and all that stuff. No, it's amazing. When the narration comes in, he said, "As an accused child molester, I knew it was a bad idea to go up into an underage drunk girl's bedroom, but I had a one-track mind at that." Whatever he says, I'm like, that's pretty good. That's
and
pretty
his one-track mind being that I want to win a pageant.
I need to win beauty pageants. Yes. No, him being a lawyer and a beauty pageantist or whatever. Yeah, that's great too. And then the other, you know, the whole. You watch the show, you know, they're setting up all these amazing things. It's really interesting.
No, the season could go an interesting way. The guy who's playing the investigator.
Yeah.
Like, something about him, I'm like, you dubious bastard. Like, he has a really, like, oh, you're slick, like, sly face to him.
He fits the whole thing.
He fits exactly.
And the people that hired him to round out the entire cast are the accusers.
Yes,
her, like,
who are dumb as a post.
Her Southern Asian daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, they're also fiercely. So, you know, we're going to have those 3 girls throughout, but I imagine there'll be a parade, if you will, of other, you know, equally neurotic, fucked up people in these other beauty pageants.
Yeah, and she'll meet some good guy who she won't be into, and he'll eventually, this guy, he's perfect. As all, you know, teeny drama type shows actually happen.
No, that's true. Yeah, I'm wondering. So when she didn't light the homeless guy on fire, it made me think maybe this is not going to be as dark or as extreme as I would like. Because that's my other, you know, underlying complaint, is that it's kind of light. I would like it to be light. Farther. Like Santa Clarita Diet.
We almost had a man commit suicide.
We did. No, that's what I mean. Like, it's kind of, you know, teetering on the edge for me, where, like, it's not quite there, and I want it to go a bit farther, and there's a long way for it to go. We have time, you know, like, especially. But at the end of the day, like Santa Clarita Diet and a lot of those other shows, where I like the characters and I like the drama and I like the situations, they're able to push something so much further and more extreme, where I go, and that's what I signed up for, guys. Do it or whatever, right? You have dead whatever in the bathtub, and you have to slowly eat them or whatever.
Well, let's see what episode 2 brings.
You think there'll be a dead guy in the bathtub?
I think there's a potential for some much darker stuff happening.
Yeah, I would like it to get darker, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's not light enough that I hate it based on that, but it's playing in some dim territory, and I want it to get dark. I want it to get, like, bad. I don't know if it'll go far enough for me based on what I've seen so far, but I think it might do some interesting stuff regardless.
That's all we can ask for.
Yes.
All right, guys, so that's episode 1. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.